Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Let's talk about why every young man should move out of his hometown. Every man, right, in his early 20s, I truly believe needs to move out of his hometown. And I did it when I was 21. I'm 24 now. So it's been about 3 years since I left my hometown in rural suburban Massachusetts. That's where I'm originally from. Massachusetts is not a very good state. I'll just tell you that right now. I don't really lean too much with the politics, right? I don't really enjoy the cold weather in the winter. When the clocks turn back in November, it gets dark at like 4 p.m. in the afternoon. It's, and I'm from a small town, right? So I'm from the suburbs. So the town that I'm from, there's like 10,000 people, right? There's one road that crosses the whole town, right? So I'm from a place where there's not a lot going on, right? Like it's not a farmland, right? Like it's not completely void of people, but there's just nothing as far as a lot of job opportunities. Yeah, are there jobs? Of course, right? There's jobs everywhere to some degree, but as far as the vibe, right? Like there's a certain, wherever you live, I think you guys will kind of resonate with this, but there's a vibe that the environment you live in exudes. Where I'm originally from, there's not too many people that are aiming to be great. There's not too many people that were aiming to better their life. I also, in my hometown, there's a lot of just townies. Like, hey man, we just go to the bar, every Friday, right? We go watch the high school basketball game, right? And like I said, it's probably like that in every suburban town in the United States of America. But at the end of the day, I got to the point where I was like, okay, I know I want to be successful. I know I want more out of life. I know I don't really resonate with this environment. I know I have a lot of goals. I want more opportunities, right? So luckily I didn't have to make a decision on my own. Around COVID, 3 years back, when all the businesses were shutting down, schools were shut down, mandates everywhere. My mother was able to, my dad's retired, right? So my mom was still working. She was able to get her job remote. So she was working in person, but she was able to transition to remote work, right? Because that's what her job allowed her to do, right? They told their people during COVID that's what they could do if they wanted, right? To keep people away from each other for social distancing. So they did that. She did that, and at the time we wanted to move, right? I guess my mom and my dad were like, we're sick of this, right? Like this Massachusetts during COVID was not fun, guys. Everyone was masked up. Everyone was promoting this, right? Everyone was social distancing, and everyone was just very in a fear-based state, a panicky state. And it's cold, right? The weather, it's dark out every day. And it just really added fuel to the pre-existing fire. It's like the fire inside of me that was like, I need to get out of here, just got a lot bigger during COVID, right? So that's why I left, right? Well, my family and I left. I moved out of my parents' house 2 years ago, but us leaving that hometown, that was one of the greatest things that happened to me. I think in my life so far. I'm 24. I'm not that old yet, but moving here has definitely drastically changed my perspective, to say the least, and also it has improved my life on so many ways. Coming here, right, in Florida, I live in South Florida. There's a lot of immigrants, right? So I don't know if they're all here illegally, probably some of them. But one thing I can say, right, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can agree on, but seeing it in person, seeing the work ethic that these people exude, seeing the consistency that these people bring to the table every day with their jobs, right, with their work ethic. I live in a very densely populated area with Latino and Haitian, right, as well as white people too. But here everyone's doing landscaping, everyone's roofing, everyone's doing construction, everyone's doing paving, right? Everyone's doing plastering. So there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of development down here, right? And the overall vibe is growth, right? That's the sense I get down here in Florida, right? So I don't know how it is in other parts of the country, because I haven't really been to too many places. But what I will say is that moving here has definitely changed my attitude towards my career, my urgency to develop. Like when you're surrounded by people who are working, right, for the most part, and you see it every day, and that's just like the class of people that you see, right? And there's opportunities all around you. You get there's a more of a sense of urgency that's added to your being, in a sense, right? You feel a sense that there's more to do. Like you have to do more, because it's like everyone around me is doing a lot. So me sitting here doing nothing, right, playing video games and, you know, doing whatever is antithetical to the existing you know, status quo that is work here. Everyone likes to work, right? And everywhere too, but really here. So and another thing too, you know, moving away from the people, right, that I'm like the high school I'm from, and the familiarity with the teachers and students that I've known for years, right? Like at the end of the day, man, like I'm sorry, there are a couple people that I will remain friends with for a long time, right? But dude, I'm not trying to see the same people at 40 years old that I saw at 17, right? Like there's a lot of people that live in the same town for the whole remainder of their life. And, you know, like I said, that's just not me, man. Like I want to explore, I want to try different things. Like life is so, it's small in a sense, but it's so grandiose in the sense of like, yo, I'm not going to limit myself to one little town, right? When there's plenty of places to go, right? And especially if you don't like where you're from too, right? You know, there's probably people here watching this that, you know, you like your hometown. Like some of you guys are like, wherever you grew up, you're okay with where you're from, right? Maybe you like where you're from, you like the politics, you like the weather, you like the job market, you like everything that's there. Or maybe you have friends that you like. But all in all, I can say that moving out of Massachusetts has been paramount to my development as a man, my experience, my wisdom, right? Seeing new people, right? Being exposed to different languages. And then that's another thing too. I've pretty much, not fully, but I'm like 75% there on Spanish, right? So I've been able to really pick up Spanish very well down here, right? And that's something that I continue to expand on every day. But yeah, like it's just, coming down here has been paramount in so many ways. And I think that if you're a guy, you know, don't feel like you have to stay somewhere. Like it's so, you know, and it comes from our comfort zone, obviously. That's very well known. Like I don't want to rehash that. But it's like the reason why most people don't want to leave is because they just feel comfortable where they're at. And at the end of the day, if you're a dude, right, and you know you have like different dreams, aspirations, goals, like you can't just sit there and expect everything to unfold right the way you want when you're in your comfort zone, right? There's certain parts of you that need to be developed, right, as you progress throughout your years, that you're not going to be able to develop if you don't leave certain environments, right? Now you can only get so far in one environment. And fortunately for me, when I was 21, I kind of maxed out where I was at. And now, you know, I'm on kind of like a new journey where I'm learning new things every day about different parts of life, right? So just know that like that's going to be a key for a lot of your guys' development, right? And most people never break away from their everyday, normal, familiar life in their hometown, knowing the same people, doing the same things, right? Day in and day out for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Like when I really think about it, I'm like, yo, I can see why, and it's not the only reason, but I can really see why so many people just like plateau and never really like become something more than what they were before. If you're in the same town if you're around the same people, bro, if you're just like, you know, surrounded by like people who aren't motivated, surrounded by people who just do the same thing every day, right? You don't really have a culture change. You don't get to see new things. It's like, bro, that calcifies your brain, right? It makes your brain like numb to reality in a sense, where you're kind of just on autopilot. You're not really, you don't really feel like a sense of urgency, right? Like, it's like, dude, I've been to this grocery store for the past 15 years. Like, I'm bored, right? Like, I'm not really, there's just a lot of like apathy that starts to set in. There's a lot of like just dullness that sets in when you're not changing your environment, right? And I'm not saying you got to change your environment in this immediate sense, but you should really think about it. Like, hey man, if you're a guy right now, you're 18, you're 20, you're 21, right? Bro, you got to think about it. Do I want to be here going into my late 20s, right? In my early 30s? Do I want to be in this environment, right, where I'm at right now? Because a lot of you guys have goals. A lot of you guys have different job careers that you want to start. And some of the job opportunities are not present in your current environment. You have to move. You have to go where the jobs are at, right? And staying in your hometown, right, you're going to be limited to whatever is available in that specific area where you live. So just understand that, right? There's a lot to learn in life. There's a lot to experience in every area. And I think moving out of your hometown and getting out of your comfort zone and seeing new things, seeing new people, seeing new opportunities is going to definitely change your perspective and help you grow in your journey all around, right? And that's what life's about. We're trying to evolve every day, and this is one way to do it effectively. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. If you guys have any questions, comments, leave them down below. And as always, I'll talk to you soon. Peace.